Okay, now the first thing, we want to install Nginx and TOR. So as you see, dnf install Nginx. Yes, we need root user like this. Okay, now let's install the TOR like this. As you see, as I already download them and install them. Okay, now let's go to etc Nginx like this. Let's go to conf.d. Now here, as you see, the example.com, here is the main website you have. Now let's return again here and let's open the nginx.config here. Now here, make sure that there is no server block like this. Okay, now this is commented, but by default there is a one here and it is listening on the port 80. Okay, so by default it will take this port 80 or this server, this virtual server. So make sure to comment it or delete it. Not the file, I mean the server block here, okay, that are listening on 80, on port 80. Okay, now if you done this, let's go to conf.d. Now here, there is nothing here, you will find nothing, okay? So make sure to touch anything .conf, anything, okay? But make sure it is .conf, okay? Because this is the syntax of the system, how it works, the Nginx, I mean. Now I already create example.com.conf here. So if I type vim example.conf, now as you see, listening on anything on port 8080, okay? And this is the root for the website, the directory for this website. Here is a client mask and some configuration. Now index is index.html, okay? Now ss-ntlb, ss here. Now as you see, we are running, yeah, as you see, we are running on the port 8080. Now if you want to add the IP version 6, now as you see, this is the IP version 4. If you want to add the IP version 6 like this one for this port, just open it again, the example here, and type again, let's type listen like this, and here type like this, then type the port is 8080, okay? Now let's save it. Yeah, we open it as a read only, so make sure it is sudo. Again, let's type it again. Now don't forget to put a semicolon at the end of it. Okay, before we start, let's use this nginx-t to make sure the syntax is the syntax is good, but there is some problems like this, the permission denied, and some, it doesn't matter for now. We will talk about this later on, don't worry. Nginx. Now as you see, status. Okay, so if I type ss-ntlb, now you will see that not only version 4, it is a version 6, IP version 6, okay? Okay, now we are ready on the Nginx. Let's make sure it is up and running. Let's go to localhost on port 8080. Here. On port 8080. Yeah, hello world, it is up and running. Because as you see, if I go to, let's open a new tab here. If I go to var www.html, as you see, this is the index that we talked about. As you see, the hello world. Because remember, let's open this file again. Now remember, we use the index.html, okay, and we use the root is var www.html, okay, so everything looks good. Now let's go. Now we are ready on the Nginx side. Now as you see, it is better to use localhost here instead of this. You need to specify the localhost like this, okay, and delete this for now. Yeah, and choose a port, not the default one, I mean the 80 port. No, choose any other port. For our example here, it is 8080, and it is binding on the local host, because this is more secure and safe for our TOR website. Yeah, I forget to open it as a root. So this is much better to use it this way. Okay, let's restart the Nginx. -ntlp. As you see, we are listening on the local host. Okay, now SSH, it is the same as netstate. Okay, but it is the newer version of it. Okay, now let's go to etc tor like this. Now that you will have and find this tor rc file. Okay, now let's vim it, but use the sudo permission here because it is owned by root. Now, as you see, here is the file. This is the configuration file for the TOR on this system. Now scroll down until you reach hidden service directory. Now here you can remove the comment, or you can add it manually. Hidden service dir, the H is capital, S is capital, and D is capital. var lib tor, the hidden service here. Now if you go to this directory, you will not find it. As you see, this directory, you will not find it. You will not find this directory, I mean, the hidden service. You will find only these before you start the TOR service. Now, after you start it, and it is ready, the TOR service here will create the hidden service directory and put inside it the host and the keys and other things, okay? And you can access the TOR using this. Now we will handle this right away, okay? But for now, hidden service port 80, and it will be mapped to the localhost 8080, okay? So as you see, if anyone from outside want to access our website, it will use the port 80, and it will be mapped to the localhost 8080. So no one can access the Nginx directly on port 8080 because it is binding on the local host, the loopback. Okay, save after you edit this file. Now let's create systemctl start TOR service. Sorry about this. Now as you see, it is up and running. So far so good. So again, let's go to this file. As you see, where is the directory? Here it is. If you go to this directory, or to this path, let's say, like this. Oh yeah, okay, no problem. Sudo su dash, because it is only for root. If you go to this directory, you will notice that before we start the service, there are no values or no files at all on this directory, the TOR directory. But when you start it, you will see that there are a lot of files, and including the hidden service here. Let's go to it, ls, and you will see that there is a file called hostname. If you cat it like this, you will see that you have the URL of Onion. Now this URL, just give it to anyone and it can be accessed, okay? But remember, you need to have a public IP address, of course. If you don't have public IP address, no one outside your network can access your website. Yeah, you know, that's a common sense, okay? Now as you see, I already put this on our virtual machine and it is not accessible outside my network, okay? But I will run it locally. So let's open the TOR, this website. Now, okay, now this website, I mean the Onion, cannot be opened using the Firefox. Now, of course, you need to download the TOR browser. Just go to Google, type TOR browser, enter, open their official website and download it. for Linux, for Windows, for Mac, anything. Okay, now as you see, I already downloaded here. So if I go to downloads, sorry, you will see that I have a Tor browser here, and then let's open it, this browser. Yeah, as you see, it is connected unsuccessfully. Now just copy and paste your address here. Now as you see, if I type it like this, now you will see that we open the website and everything working fine. If you see here, as we talked previously about how the Tor working, and it is still connecting randomly to other nodes or router or relays with the different names as we mentioned before. Okay, you will see that we have right now on Germany, and as you see, this is the guard or the entry point or the entry node, and we have specific relays until we reach, as you see, the onion here, which is our website. So far so good.